And once the idea of a trick is planted, it just comes down to the battle it's going to take to land it. I have to decide how much risk and how many falls is it going to take before this whole motion comes together perfectly. And then I just try to acknowledge the uncertainty and go in with the mindset that I might land it the next attempt.
Justin Wagers for a while has just been into tricklining.
Yeah, I've been tricklining for about 10 years now and pretty quickly realized that it was going to be my thing.
He has traveled around the world and done a lot of videos, king of Slackline, edits online, competitions. He's really made a name for himself as a trickliner.
After seeing Justin on the highline, I pretty much expected him to stick with tricklining. No, he seemed super scared and shut down, just very unsure of how to approach that environment.
To be honest, I didn't really understand highlining, and I never really gave it a second thought until I saw these guys getting into freestyle highlining. As soon as I saw this creative freestyle element to the sport, I was sold 100%.
And I do think Justin's background in tricklining has definitely helped him transfer those skills onto the highline. A lot of muscle memory there, and just having that base as a strong athlete, I think makes a lot of sense that he would transition into freestyle highlining.
Tricklining and freestyle highlining are pretty different disciplines. It's kind of hard to transition all the time between tight short lines and longer looser lines.
So it kind of becomes this contrast of two worlds where you have the trick line is this super tension 80-foot line close to the ground, whereas the high line is this 200-foot long, slow oscillation line, hundreds of feet in the air.
It's outrageously impressive to have that much control on multiple different types of lines, different tensions, different type of webbing, and to be able to land those tricks consistently is outrageously impressive.
Typically you're either one or the other. I can probably count people that can do both on 10 fingers on both hands, and maybe less than that, maybe 3 or 4 people that are talented at both of those things,
And I really wanted to film a bit where I did difficult and creative tricks on these two crazy different lines, and show what was possible on both. Yeah, there was one trick in particular that just dominated my thoughts when I got into freestyle highlining.
Feet to feet roll is probably as hard as trick bouncing tricks get.
There's not many people that can do, say, a double butt flip and a barrel roll. I don't know if anyone else does that.
But of course, sometimes it takes 100 or more attempts to land a trick, and you just have to be committed to the cause.
Oh, so close.
The feeling when I stomped the barrel roll, I was like, what? It totally just blew my own mind. I reached this level that I didn't think was possible. Well, there was this voice in the back of my head that was like, okay, you stomped this trick, but you can do more. You can do something unique, something hard that no one else has done before. So there's this one trick. I was dropping down into butt bounce and doing a single roll up to my feet, and it's really fast and really hard to land on your feet after a full spin. I thought maybe I could do a double flip version of it. I remember the first day I went out trying it, and I just wanted to quit right away because I started throwing it and I was like, I just don't have enough time, don't have enough bounce to land a double flip to feet. It feels impossible. I don't know how big I'm going, but it feels big. And then at the bottom of your bounce, you just huck yourself sideways as hard as you can. At the top of the bounce, you throw your feet down and stomp the trick. And that's the hardest part, just ending up on your feet.
Like, I had seen him trying it down there for a little bit, and I was just like, yeah, he's got it. I was seeing the whole calibration thing, like sometimes he would over-rotate and under-rotate, and I was like, he could totally do that.
Justin's trying a world's first trick right now. Double barrel roll to Yoda stands to feet.
It was a double twisty roll with a stand-up.
Roly-poly, pistol squat stand.
The double twisty stand-up roll.
The double chamois, the double Dutchman.
The double whoop, you know, the double oop.
The double cinnamon twist roll.
Can opener, 2 cans of soup.
Kansas soup. The butt double side spin to somehow he lands on his feet, which I don't know how he does.
I don't trick bounce highline, but I think being able to stand back up after 2 rotations like that, that's hard.
I've seen him throughout the years see what he wants out of something and go after it really hardcore until he lands it.
And you take some pretty brutal falls. I mean, people say it's safe, but there's definitely some risk involved.
I don't know if it's from the webbing or the leash.
It's like most of the time, not much risk, and then occasionally like ultra super dangerous.
There are some inherent dangers to being 200 feet up in the air, but there are other dangers as well. Like you have to be really conscious of where the leash is so it doesn't get twisted around one of your appendages, for example.
There's like that one freak accident that you hear about, some guy like ripping his finger off.
Getting knocked out would be the big one because then you can get suspension trauma.
Oh my God.
You know, like crazy weird things that we try not to think about when hucking new tricks.
Do you want me to say it, Lucy? I was at no point worried for his safety.
But I don't want to be just a trickliner or just a highliner. What these sports have in common is creative movement, and more than anything, that's my passion. If there's one thing that slacklining represents, it's being unique, you know?
Like once you get to a point that you can be creative with something, and like do something that everyone else has not done or thought of before, like that's really, really cool.
I think slacklining draws a lot of super unique people who have a lot to offer. And so what's the point of just doing something that you've already seen before? Have fun with it, see what else is possible.
That was sick. And you got it in like 16 minutes.
Cinnamon twist roll, the double twist stand-up roll. The Colorado Rocky Mountain Twister Mr. Roll. The Fista Twister Mr. Roll, dude. It's gotta be it. Something like that. I mean.
And like moments after that, I hear just like, wow, fuck yeah, because he only curses whenever he lands a trick on the highline. So he was just real psyched for himself, and I hear him hooping and hollering, and I was like, oh, it's because I'm here.
Do I look like Freedy?
I think slacklining is inherently safe.
Wrong answer.
I don't think slacklining is inherently safe.
I don't know if I get to name it, but if I were to name it, I guess I'd call it the double can opener, double rodeo flip to feet, the double pizza roll, the meat scepter. I can't put that in the video. The double heli flip.
Dude, that was a trick in the...
That's kind of sick. Yeah, I like that.
This is Marcus Nelson sitting on a rock in the mountains.
I'm so fun to highline with, right? Dude, was like highlining with you is so calm and serene until you get on the highline.
I hate this fucking leash.
Oh! Dude, just vibing, yeah.